When people say this is just another campaign, what are you saying back? What's different about it?
So I think obviously we've learned a lot from other campaigns. We've talked to them, we've discussed and used what they've done. But I think what's different about the prize is, like I say, it's about this optimism. It's about this idea that we can find solutions and we can drive change. I think rather than saying it's all doom and gloom and really there's nothing more we can do about it and endless headlines of sadly extinctions and problems environmentally around the world, we want to say to people, listen, over the next 10 years, if we can set these ambitious targets and these goals and inspire people to rise to the challenge. There are wonderful people doing incredible things around the world, all in small communities everywhere. If one of them might have an amazing idea, we can scale that up and we can use that to really tackle some issues.
You've talked about how you were inspired in this work initially by the work of your father and your grandfather, undoubted pioneers in this area. How are you going to measure your success and how do you sort of allow Prince George, for example, to inherit this?
Like you said, my grandfather started doing stuff with conservation a long time ago, WWF particularly. My father was ahead of his time talking about climate change. I don't want to be ahead of my time because then we're already too late. And now is the time to act. And my children look to me and ask me lots of questions. They love the natural world and they want to know answers and they want to know why there's so much negativity and why everyone's so worried and how bad can it get. And I want to turn around to them and say, we have solutions. We can find a way through this. Human ingenuity and human spirit of innovation is huge. We put a man on the moon, we can do this.
The genesis of this was before the pandemic. The pandemic hit. How's the pandemic, from what you've seen, affecting the wider cause? And can you learn something from this process we've been through?
Obviously, going through COVID has been pretty horrendous for everybody, and we've lost a lot of people very sadly. I think what COVID has taught us is it's the first kind of difficult time that certainly my generation and younger generations have faced. Obviously older generations have been through the war and there's nothing like that. It was truly horrendous. But this has been a tricky time for everyone, a very difficult time. And I think if there's any kind of tiny ray of light that can come out of this is that people have been outside more. They've experienced nature, they've seen it, they've heard the birds because the aeroplanes have been less, the roads have been calmer. And I hope people have that moment to connect and realise how special the green and natural world around them is. And so I think if we can find the money and the collaboration, the willpower to tackle COVID as we have done, we can do this for the environment as well.